And realistically speaking, has Toronto been better than the Panthers in the first two games? I think you can make that argument pretty easily on paper, at least. But there's intangibles to the Panthers. Like, they don't go away, man. And they are not soft. Like Keith Kachuk called them a couple months ago that went viral in Toronto. That might have punched him right in the face. Because you got guys like Kachuk and Bennett and Gudas that are just warriors out there, man. And they're resilient. Like, look at Lundell's goal last night. The Panthers weren't anywhere in that game last night, Nick. And Lundell scores and it silences the crowd in Toronto, gives them some life. And then you start second period, two quick goals. All of a sudden, Panthers are up by two or up by one in a 3-2 game. So I think they're resilient. I think they're playing hard, but more than anything, they're getting better goaltending, Nick. Sergei Bobrovsky has been way better than Ilya Samsonov. And without him, I'm not sure where the series is.
I'm so happy I was working with you today because, again, you are the goalie guru, the goalie expert at Daily Faceoff, and you were a goalie in the NHL. I mean, who better? Bobrovsky, man, like he won 2 Vezina trophies. I'll be the first to admit I have ripped this guy pretty much since he joined the Florida Panthers. Anybody would take that ticket, but he has been above and beyond. And I mean, you just look at the numbers, and I'll read them off to you. Matthews 0 for 12, Marner 0 for 7, Nylander 0 for 13, Tavares 0 for 10. It's so clear this guy's in their head, right?
I think he's not just in their head, but he's just performing. And 5-on-5, power play, you name it. I think some of the saves that Bobrovsky made in the first game, especially from the open slot, like open slot looks, Nick, he's making blocker saves look easy. He's eating pucks. And, with Bobrovsky previously, there's been times where I think he's been a little bit too explosive. He'll lose his net. You're not seeing that right now. Like, the core is still there. I mean, he's still beatable, but look at the stats here in the series, 944 in 2 games. Like, he's carrying the Panthers. It's just, can he sustain it? Because this season, he was pretty streaky. He'd go 4 or 5 hot, and then he'd cool off. So the Panthers are hoping that Bobrovsky can keep up this level of play.
Mike, the ironic thing to me, and I brought this up on my show the other day, and I'm sure you recall this. It was like 2 weeks left in the season. Alex Lyons starts this game in Toronto. The Panthers tie it late. They win it in overtime. So funny enough, it's the Leafs who set up this entire matchup, and here we are down 0-2 in the series. How about that?
Yeah, it's unbelievable how the world turns, right? And hey, credit to Alex Lyon, who did carry the Florida Panthers into
Mm-hmm.
the playoffs, played the first 3 games of the series in the first round. But I think it's ride or die with Bob at this point, the way he's playing.
And certainly for the Maple Leafs perspective, I love Ilya Samsonov's comments, post game, pretty much saying, I don't give a fuck regarding Sergei Bobrovsky and the way he's played so far in this series. He's been a great story. But again, Ilya Samsonov should have some confidence to his game. I mean, he did outduel Andrei Vasilevsky in the first round. From the Maple Leafs perspective, where does it start? I think obviously there's always that revisionist history that a couple weeks back, even a week ago, we saw the New Jersey Devils do this, a very exact same thing the Leafs are trying to do, right?
Yeah, and I honestly am real nervous about Samsonov, and it's the watching the way he
Yeah.
plays, Nick. Like, his when that puck moves laterally, and you saw it last night on Forsling's goal from Kachuk. When the puck goes side to side, Samsonov's upper body is at war with his lower body. It does not work in unison. It's not in sync. There's holes. He's reaching. He's just not a crisp goaltender. He can fly by the seat of his pants and play an unbelievable game, but you don't see consistency out of him because there are deficiencies in his technical structure. I'm scared about that because Bob's been way better. And it's not like Samsonov's been atrocious here, man, but you can't be just okay in a dogfight like this. And I'm sorry, I said this at the beginning. People laughed at me. I still think Joseph Woll's a better option. Like, I don't care his experience level. This guy went 6-1 with a 932 for the Toronto Maple Leafs down the stretch with that team. He had a 927 in the American League. He was an all-star down there. Plays with structure. This guy would make more saves. I fully believe that. But you know what? Last night, honestly, how many posts did the Maple Leafs hit? How many chances did they have that just didn't go in? Yeah, Bobrovsky was great. But I honestly think the Leafs, if they keep playing their game and minimize those mental mistakes and turnovers, they really should be able to fight back in this series.